Tuesday with other friends. Welcome to Family and Values. It's another exciting day. It's another beautiful day to be on your screens this morning. Family and Values is where we talk about everything related to family relationship, marriage, children. Like you had the kids yesterday celebrating the Children's Day with us. Today it's another exciting day where we come with another informative, educative topic for you to understand and try to know what we are discussing. My name still remains Joy Abu. We are streaming across all our social media platforms. Please download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our Facebook and X so that you know when Family and Values is on. Like I used to say, when you see these beautiful faces, you know it's time for Family and Value. Thank you for being our guest. I have really seated in the queenly attire this morning with all the touch of green, black, gold, giving us that sparkling color this morning. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Welcome, and thank you for the announcement. But unfortunately, I don't have anything to pay you with. Okay, no currency. Yeah. Maybe I'll give you biscuit.
Yeah, I'll
give you akara.
I'll accept that.
You take akara.
I'll accept that. I will accept that.
Hey.
It's not gift.
So be so happy, so that when you are happy and others look at you, you also be happy. Be so happy that when others look at you, you know you are going to make them to be part of that happiness that they see around you, that aura that you're bringing to them. My name is Olori Adejoke Adobi David. I want to believe that this morning that you woke up fine, and for those who could not, I want to believe that all will be well with you, because yes, many of us wake up this morning and we're all happy, smiling. Many woke up with a lot in their bank accounts. Many woke up with good news, and many woke up this morning with one sad news or the other. Irrespective of how you wake up, the fact that you're alive, just give thanks. Give thanks that you heard that news, because God is more than faithful to console and make all things well concerning you. My name is Olori Adejoke Adobi David. Like I said, you're welcome to Family and Values, and myself and Joy, we are ready to start and take off with this train this morning with you and your family. I hope you're ready.
Yes, we are ready. We are ready to start the morning. We are ready to start everything. I love the fact that you came out looking all this. Let me seal my lips.
Stop putting me on this edge. She's
no,
not putting me on this
I'm
edge.
just appreciating the beauty of God in you. I'm serious. When I walked into the office, what did I say? I said, you look beautiful. That was the first thing I said. So I appreciate it.
God Almighty.
Mama Gen Z herself, how are you doing? How are you preparing for a big day?
Oh, to God be the glory. Something good is going to happen.
Something good is coming. Don't worry, everything will be fine. The Lord will handle everything.
Amen.
It's actually a day we are really looking up to. It's a day we are praying God for.
And God will help us.
Yesterday we celebrated the kids. They felt all good. Yes. It was really wonderful having them around. They just look like children.
And when they grow up, it's another thing.
It's another experience for them. Yes.
You know, you don't have anyone to take out or to, except you just say, are you free at work? Can you join me for?
Me, I was looking for Children's Day gifts. Nobody gave me Children's Day gifts.
I'm sure Daddy would have called you.
Honorable called, and it was only his grandchildren. I said, me now, I'm not a child. I'm still your child now. Why are you being like
your
this?
Time don't move. Your time don't move with that.
Adulthood
is actually simply shows that your time don't move.
Okay, let's start our day with our mini future. When we return, our guest will be joining us via Zoom to join the conversation. We'll see you on the other side. Okay. Okay, welcome back. If you're just joining us, you've not missed anything, because that was our mini feature to give us an intro into today's topic. Last week we started a conversation that we did not end, and we felt today we should take the second part of that conversation, and we are talking about grieving. Today we are looking at the customs and traditions that comes with grieving. You know, when once, let me use a lady loses her husband, there are a lot of traditions that come with it. I've seen a few, I've heard a few, and it's important, since we talked about grieving and how to handle it, let's also talk about the customs and traditions that comes with grieving. And we have via Zoom joining us all the way from Warri, Olu Comfort, to have this conversation with us. Good morning, Ma. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
One thing about you, you're
this is Joy.
Beautiful.
Good morning.
You're always
good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's so good to see you, Olu Comfort. How are you?
Oh, Lori, it's so good to see you too. And you are painting the studio all green this morning.
You
we had Children's Day yesterday, so I'm praying that, with this green, there will be fruitfulness in our land, in our home, in our family.
Amen.
The lives of those believing God for children. I saw you with the children Sunday, and you were doing great today.
Yesterday.
It's so beautiful. Nice. It was a beautiful one.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for dressing prophetically this morning. And as you have reached everybody out there, so shall it be.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Olu Comfort, for joining us. So last week we started a conversation that we did not finish due to time, and we decided to bring the part 2. We are talking about grieving, customs and traditions. You did mention something, and we're like, hold on, we are going to have a part 2. Now, my first question is, now, as a grieving widow, it's very common that when women loses their husbands, people, that's when the tradition of the land will start speaking. My first question to you is, a widow who is mourning the loss of her husband, is it important she follows the customs and traditions of the land perpetuated in form of grieving, in the aspects of grieving?
Okay, thank you. And I would like to start by saying we cannot reject our culture. We cannot go against culture. In this life, every tribe has a culture. And culture is part of our life. Culture is part of our existence. So we cannot undermine culture, and we cannot overlook culture. So I will say that if there is any culture, in any family, in any community, after the demise of our husband, why not? If there is a culture, why not? Because we have to respect culture. But there is a but there. The world is revolving, things are changing, civilization has come into to stay, and things are no longer the way they used to be. So I will say that any culture that is going to inflict pain on a widow because the husband died, I think we should be revisited. I support carrying out culture, but I think some of this culture should be revisited and be updated. Let me put it that way, like a technology age people. Let me put it that way, should be updated, because there is no pain you inflict on the living now that can bring back the dead. So any culture that will inflict a pain on a widow because she lost her husband, I think should be revisited. So this morning, it is a call to our traditional leaders, to our people, the people who uphold our custom, that the world is revolving. Yes, we don't supposed to carry out the tradition, but there is a but. We must revisit it. Any tradition, any custom that will inflict pain on a widow because she lost her husband, no. Or any custom that will force someone to force a widow to come and do what she cannot do, to come and do what, no, it's some things that is not called for, should be revisited. That is my stand on this.
Okay, Olukomfo, thank you so much for that starting up. Now, I want to ask, in a situation whereby you have a spouse who lost the partner, and because they were not, the traditional rites of marriage was not done before the partner, decided to, to go, as in pass on. You have some customs that they will bring the corpse, and the husband or the wife will be there, the living spouse will be there to really marry, as in the dead and the living brought together. Now, do you think some acts, some practices of this custom, do you think they are really necessary? Or is it compulsory that the dead is being brought to that particular scene and the wedding is being conducted between the dead and the living because he never paid all the rights? Some will tell you, it's custom, they have to do it. Do you think it is really necessary? Can't they do it without the corpse being there?
Okay, I've heard about this culture before, and I've seen it before, but I did not really 100% go against it, because everybody must face consequences.
Yeah.
It's like this culture, we enhance young ones, the singles, to follow the tradition of marriage. I think that is why they are bringing up this culture. That you must not marry our child on credit. You must not marry our child from the back door. You marry our child rightfully. You marry our child with dignity, not that you just pick our child and you impregnate our child. I think they are using this culture to like a consequence. Like if you marry our child and you don't marry our child the way you're supposed to marry our child, this is what will happen. If that child eventually die in your house, this is what you're going to do. But one thing that I want to be close there is the part where they bring the dead to the scene. I love the part that you did not get married legally,
yeah.
And when the woman died, you still come and pay a bride price. That one is okay.
Yeah.
It's culture, and the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be married before family, not family before marriage. You kidnap, to me, it's a kidnapping. You hijack somebody's child, you impregnated, you start family with that person, you didn't pay due respect to that family. So the part that is a clause to me that's I'm not really comfortable with is the fact that they are bringing the dead to the scene. It's so scary. We're talking about making people to pay consequences of their action. We should not make it a shameful thing or inflict pain on them sometimes. So we can do this. I think it's okay. If you put a check on every younger one that when you want to get married, you must go through the right channel. So I think it's okay, but if there is a way they can do it, where the dead will not be brought to the scene, I think it's not even honorable for the deceased. So that is my point of view about this.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm loving the fact that you're giving us exactly what we need when it comes to this conversation. Now, you just said something about this practice of the dead getting married to the living. But do you think that most of these customs and traditions works against women mostly? For instance, in the eastern parts of the country, once you lose your husband, the fact that the one that killed the man is there, they believe that you're the one that killed the man. And then they'll make you shave your hair as a woman. And then some go as far as even washing the cups and giving you the water to drink just to prove your innocence. Now, do you think that those customs and traditions affect mostly women?
Yes. I believe you did not ask me this question, I was going to bring it up. Because that was when you told me about the topic. That was one thing I decided that I'm going to talk about. it's like some of this culture are somehow biased. Some of this culture are somehow biased because it's like the target of the culture is just towards women. When maybe a woman lost her husband now, they make her go through rigorous rituals, rigorous traditions. But when it happened the other way around, that maybe is the woman that died before the man, the same person walked freely. The same no ritual attached to that. I don't know, maybe, but in Yoruba land there is no. I'm a Yoruba person. No ritual attached to that. I've not seen where they said somebody's husband died and come and be shaving the hair, or the person has to be wearing black cloths for 3 years, for 3 months, for 1 year, or the person has to stay inside. No social withdrawal. They withdraw the person. So to me, if they can balance up this thing, it will be better, because it looks as if it's one-sided. It's so biased against women. Because when woman is the one that is at the center now, maybe she lost her husband, you concentrate on her. She will be the one that will do the entire thing. But the other way, it is man that lost his wife. The man is working freely, no ritual. I don't know, maybe it's for my place. There is no ritual in my place. I don't know if there's any ritual somewhere else. Apart from, they will ask the man to buy goats. They will ask the man to buy clothes for burial. They will buy something for the elders in the family. But when it comes to personal things that you're supposed to do, men are so free. So I wish I can see some of our elders and ask them why. Why? Does it that men cannot carry out rituals on behalf of their wives? Does it mean that men cannot mourn their wife the way women mourn their husbands also?
Hello, Olu, can you hear me? Olu, can you hear me? I want to add,
yes, I can hear you.
To what you're saying. At times, it's kind of, it looks more like they are punishing the woman.
Yes.
Don't you think it looks more like that? Because why is it that the tradition is not extended to the man? In short, I have not heard anyone, except for all this one that you marry dead woman, that you did not pay the bride price. Don't you think it's like a punishment? I think our government, our lawmakers, and our traditional rulers, don't you think they need to look into this? Sincerely. They need to look into it and see how naturally balance this thing.
Sorry. You know, naturally, sometimes when you lost your loved one, there is this fear. That is why you used to pray one prayer that I remember in you. Because I experienced it when my mother died. There was this natural fear, as if you have another being around you. Sometimes when I sleep safe, it's as if maybe she's using her hand to rub my leg. There is this fear there. And there's some culture, they will lock up the woman with the dead body for 7 days.
Yes.
Depending on depending on how the deceased died, the circumstances that surround the death of the deceased, there is I don't know, no matter what happened, no woman deserved that. Because no woman wished to her husband to die. The pain of mourning your husband, the pain of losing your husband is there. Then locking the woman with the dead body for 7 days, just to prove a point. Just to prove a point. It's like inflicting pain on that woman. I think this is a call to every of our leaders, even our government. I think there's supposed to be a check on this custom and on this addition that inflicts pain on somebody because you love your loved ones. And my question is, all the years we've been doing this, does it return the dead? Does it return the dead? You have never heard that any of these people that do these rigorous rituals, maybe any of the dead will wake up again. What is gone is gone. What is lost is lost. And I'm saying it again. No amount of pain will inflict on the living that can bring back the dead. So this culture should be revisited. We call on our governments to look into it, especially those states where they have these very dangerous rituals when a woman lost her husband. And want to say that our women at the top should speak up for women also. It's not only only women that should go through this rigorous, because this is the conversation that we are not ready to have this conversation. We are not really talking about it. I have not even seen anywhere. I think this is my first time I'm hearing this conversation, ma, and I was so excited to talk about it, because these are the things that have been that I wish I can have an opportunity, a bigger platform to say it. So I'm relying upon our women who are in leadership that can speak for other women. We should stop inflicting on women when they lost their husband. It does not worth it. It does not return the dead.
Olu, thank you very much. But let's go on our word of marvel and possibly our box pop. Let's hear what our viewers have to say concerning this topic. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you.
The worst I've ever seen in my little stay on earth is an in-law, a true life story. What I observe, an in-law, after the death of their brother, came to the house, seized the property which were owned by their late brother, and drove the woman out of the house. Of a recent, a soldier in the barracks lost his life. Then the woman family, the younger brother to the husband went behind the man, the late brother's wife, and fill all the necessary documents which army required. Then he put, although he put the woman account number, but refused to put the woman phone number. So when army paid the money, he was the one that saw the alert. So having seen the alert, he went behind the woman, used the ATM card given to her, given to him by the woman, went and withdraw the money. So that's the worst thing I ever seen of a recent.
Most of the times, the husband family, they will come to the house and pack all the property. They believe that what belongs to their brother is their own, so they will not give the wife anything, and they will leave her stranded with nothing for her.
I've seen quite a number, but the worst among them was when she lost her husband, and then his family was supposed to come take care of her and her children. She had 6 boys, and then instead of these people to come help her, they came, they packed everything, and her husband's mistake was putting his brother as the next of kin. Yeah, so it was really terrible. She was crying day and night for help. They came, they packed everything. His brother was like, if she won't help from them, she'll get married to them. And also, it was really crazy. So, and I would like to maybe advise husbands that will be watching this. I'm not praying for death, but your child, whether a female or male, should be your next of kin, or even your wife, to save her from all this. Because if you check in our world today, it happens a lot. And women will now be left to suffer with children and our current economy, which is crazy. So that's my take on this topic.
Okay, maybe collecting his properties and sending the woman and her children out of the house without any place for them to stay or anything for them to start their life with.
The worst thing I've ever seen is for the woman, the family of the man packing things out and then leaving the woman without help, without anything, just leaving the woman on her own, don't caring how the children will survive or not. That is the worst I've ever seen.
It's indeed a sad one there when you feel like family that should be there for you are the ones that come against you. Olu Comfort, I guess you're still there. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank
you. I'm sure you watched the Vox Pop and you heard people express their opinions, and they kept saying the worst experiences they've had. But one caught my attention, the one where I know of this tradition that exists, where if the woman loses her husband, she's expected to marry the younger brother so that the properties would still be hers. And now I am worried. Why would you force someone to marry somebody she doesn't want because it's custom? and it's tradition. And this happens mostly in the eastern parts of the country. It's very common. We see it in movies, but those things happen in reality. You heard somebody say the one he also saw was, you know, they throw the woman away, take the whole properties. And these are practices, especially if she doesn't have a male child. Now it becomes worse for her. So what's your take on this particular practice?
Okay, you know, that was why I started by saying that any custom, any grieving custom or grieving tradition, or we would like to say mourning tradition, that we know inflict pain on anybody, whether the woman or any man, no, should not be encouraged any longer. Any culture, any custom that we force somebody to do what he or she does not want to do, because it is very wrong to say because she lost her husband and she had to get married to another, to the husband's sibling, the husband's brother. It is not right. It is not right. In some cases, I've seen some cases that it's even the woman herself that we require, that we request for it, that let me marry my husband's sibling. Why not? That is their custom. That is their culture. And she is okay with it. She's fine with it. But in some cases where she is not okay with it, she should not be forced. She should not be forced. Everybody has the right to mourn the way they want to. Everybody has the right to choose how they want to grieve their loved ones. Society should not dictate how people should grieve their loved ones, especially when they don't want to comply, or maybe what the tradition and the custom is not given to them is against their faith, is against their beliefs. So nobody should be forced. Everybody should be given this privilege to choose how they want to grieve their loved ones, how they want to mourn their loved ones. So demanding that a woman has to marry his brother's sibling, it is no. I think it has to be updated. That culture needs to be updated. And I want to mention this. When it comes to family, there is this dynamics in family that they always wait for when a man dies, especially when the man is alive, and they feel that the woman is enjoying more than them. They feel that the woman is getting the privileges of their child's money more than them. They will not wait till when the guy dies and not look as if this is a payback time for this lady. Some custom and some tradition has wickedness underlining on that. Some are stirred up out of anger, out of bitterness, like we have the opportunity. Those cases, that perspective is very wrong. In most cases, so they now wait for the woman. Maybe they have issue. You see some people, when the man died, they will bring issue of their wedding day. On their wedding day, on when she did naming ceremony, they will pick everything up. And they will now use that one. So the culture they are doing to women as wickedness underneath. Okay, so that is the thing I think as a family life practitioner, I think that government should intervene. Our leaders should intervene. Because some of this thing we call culture is not culture. It's to get back.
Okay, look, now it's like a payback. It's like I want to get back at my brother's wife for doing what she did when my brother was alive. What about the trauma these people go through? The trauma they go through is so heavy. Their heart is so heavy at that particular point in time that with all these burdens and burdensome attitude, ways, characters, family, tradition, culture that is being bundled together at once with the trauma, with what they are going through mentally and psychologically, Don't you think this is also going to be a heavy weight on them? Even some of them don't even see their children at that particular point in time. Their children are taken away from them. They're isolated from the society. They're isolated from their friends and their loved ones who can be there to pamper them, to hold them, to hug them. You know, sometimes when you hug someone who is going through grief, it goes a long way. Yeah. But in this state, they are alone. It's a world of isolation with the trauma, with the mental torture that, okay, we call tradition. What do you think that one needs to do, or one should suggest to someone? I have one of my Marvelous, my girl, she lost her aunt this morning and she was really crying, you know, seriously. Now someone in that situation and is now going through all this burden, what do you think, you know, what can we advise that person? How do we come in to really say, I'm with you in this? Because you can't see the person. They're isolated. What do we do?
You know, last week we were talking about coping strategy last week. And I said one of the fastest coping strategies that can really help somebody who is grieving is when you are surrounded by your loved ones. Your loved ones. When you are surrounded by your loved ones. It's a coping strategy that can help you to walk through this challenging period. That can help a woman or a man to heal very fast and move on with life. But in a situation where they have to ask the person to isolate herself, let me say herself, because mostly it's women that used to do this thing too. The most. True. You know, and the loss of one's husband is traumatizing enough. And at that moment is when you will think that I need the support of the people around me. Support of family. Say family that have eaten your pepper, they have eaten your salt, eaten everything. The one you have ate. That moment is when the woman will be thinking that I need the support of these people. But unfortunately, in our society, that is when some family, especially all these Orthodox families, especially when they will not stand against that woman, that one is trauma times 10. I know of a woman going through this. 10 years later, she has not recovered. This is a woman when I know she was growing up, she was full of life, always happy, always joyful. She lost her husband some years back, 10 years ago. And as I speak with you this morning, she has not gotten back on her feet. Not just because of the death of her husband, but what the family did to her. Was traumatized. In fact, the experience the family gave her was more painful than the death of her husband. And as this morning, as I speak to you, she has not stand on her feet. That spark, that glow, that joy, that excitement, everything died with the man, and with all the experiences that the family gave her. So it does not worth it. It is out of wickedness. It is not right. No culture will encourage isolating somebody who has been with the husband. Suddenly the husband died, and now say to grieve. Allow people to choose how they want to grieve. Allow them to choose how they want to grieve. For the fact that somebody is smiling when the person is grieving, doesn't mean that the person is not in pain. There are some people when they are grieving, or they do everything, those are the ones that are really, the thing is really paining them. So our society should allow people, especially women, to choose how they want to grieve their husband. Please, they should update this isolation. It is a killer. It is traumatizing. You don't see your children, you don't see your friends. Some will, they will even take their phone. They will take their phone. So, I'm not in support of it. It's not right.
Okay, Olu Comfort, as we round up now, from the Vox Pop, we heard people saying that so many people have experienced where properties are being seized. In fact, there was one that said she know of somebody, a woman with 6 boys, the family took everything and threw her out. What's your advice to men who are still living? You know, life is unpredictable. Now you have a wife, you have children, and you're putting your brother as next of kin. I don't understand. How do we come to this where when a spouse is being lost, at least the woman should be able to have access to what properties, to finances that she can use for startup? We've had cases where family will come and throw. I have seen where a family came and threw the woman out of the house and took possession. And she started with 1 room, and this was a woman in duplex. Had to move her children back to square one, and they started life all over again. Aside the trauma, how can we avoid this particular? I mean, I feel like if there are documents, if she has 1 or 2 access to the man, because most of them, these men, women don't have access to their finances, and when they die, they don't even know that the husband have. It's only family that will now start knowing that. Okay, so how do we, as a marriage life coach, how do we advise men, you know, to really put these things in check?
Do you know the challenge we have with some men is, nobody says that a man will leave his family and he will cleave to his wife. And I believe there's supposed to be something like that in the Quran also. But the problem we have is that this principle of living and cleaving, some men did not still apply it to their marriage. That is why they have to start learning now. Yoruba used to say, unity and you abi. All these things that we are hearing, men should come and learn. If you die today, and you put your sibling as next of kin, may your children not suffer. May your legacy not perish. Because the children are supposed to not continue your legacy. They have children now, they have taken. I used to say to men that nobody can love you more than your children and your wife. All this hide and seek. I have money in the bank. I have land somewhere. I don't want my wife to know. If she know, what if suddenly something, you go out and you don't come back again? So who should you put as next of kin? That is why I put that scripture. And a man shall leave his father and his mother and his brother and sibling, and will cleave to his wife. Somebody who will not carry on your legacy when you are no longer here should be your next of kin. And that should be your wife or your children. Should be your next of kin. So let men arise. And I think family should, because when we're talking about will, life after death, nobody wants to talk about it because nobody is praying for death. But I think we must face this reality. Family must face this reality. As you are living, as you are not planning for the future of your children, also plan, what if something happens to me today? Or what if something happens to me today? What will become of my wife? And men, I'm begging you now, please, as you are growing, grow your wife also. Grow them in business. Grow them so that when something happens, even if you not die, if sickness happen today, will the woman be able to help you? And at the same time, women too should stand up. All this, my husband is making provision for me, everything is fine. Hey, brace up and plan for your future. Plan for the future of your children. Anything can happen anytime. God forbid, no evil will happen to us. We don't wish any evil. But death is not certain. Reality. Don't use all your hands to eat everything you have now. Plan for the future. Plan for in case. Men, ask yourself today, if something happened to me today, what will become of my children?
Okay, Olucomfort, my final question to you is this. For a woman who had just gone through the culture, the tradition, or grieving, you know, in the hands of the husband's family, and she believes she is badly treated, what do you think she should do after coming out? What should be the first thing she does, and the next thing, what are those steps she needs to take? You know, because some of them are left, just like you said, outside the house, outside the mansion. They are left to the streets. Their children not having something, even if the husband has planned it, you know, the family take everything away from them. What should such a woman or such an individual, what should they do to fight?
Okay, in this situation, okay, can I go ahead?
Yeah, please go on.
Okay. Okay, in this situation now, if there's any woman who is watching us out there and you find yourself in this situation, I want to tell you this, no, sincerely, you have to rise again. You have to rise again, if not for anything, for the sake of your children. You have to rise again. I used to tell people when I'm counseling women, I used to tell them something, that marriage is not an attachment. If you did not get married in the first place, you are going to leave. If you did not marry your deceased husband in the first place, you are going to leave. And now that it's like this, we did not wish for it, but now that you find yourself in this position, you have to rise again. For the sake of your children and for your own sake. They have to put the past behind them. All the trauma, all the pain. Oh, why will this person do this to me? This person is no longer there for me. Oh, please. What matters now is you. Your well-being, your mental health, your total well-being is what matters now. They have done their worst, they have done what they want to do. But your life must keep moving. So you have to think about yourself in this situation. You have to look for ways, strategies. What relationship can I call on? Who can I call on? And if there is nobody you can call on, there is somebody who is always closer to you. God. Who will make a way for you when there seems to be no way. But you have to first of all pull yourself together. You have to first of all take care of your health. Take care of your mental health, your everything, emotional health. Take care of it first, so that you can live and take care of those children. Because if you don't bounce back, if anything happens to you by eventually, these children will suffer. These children will suffer. So everything has happened. What am I saying to you, dear woman? Bounce back. Ask for help. If there is any organization who can help you, ask. If you belong to a religious organization who can help, ask. If you have friends who can help you out, ask. And this is why I want to chip in very, very fast. That while everything is fine, please everybody build strategic relationship. Build strategic relationship. Relationship that will sustain you when you are no longer there. As a man, relationship you will build for your family, that when you are no longer there, your family will call one person and say, hello, can you give me 3 million naira? And they will give your wife. Build strategic relationship when we are still alive now. Because you can't tell what will happen. Women don't abandon relationship because of marriage. There is a place of marriage and there is a place of relationship. What your husband or your children can do for you cannot be compared with what relationship can do for you. So in terms of our downtime, we must have some relationship that can lift us up. The story of Job in the Bible, Job was down. In his downtime, it was relationship that lifted him up. Bible made us to understand that his friends came, they came. This one give gold, this one gives small thing, this one gives small thing. That was how Job was able to jack back out of his predicament. So while we are talking about life after death, I want to chip in this life now. This strategy when we are here. Build strategic relationship. That if anything happens to your family today, there are people they can call. Be good to people. Be nice to people. There are people if they die today now, and they call anybody, say that man can never help his family. That woman is a wicked woman. She was a wicked man, can never help her family. So whatever life you are living now, remember the day you will not be there. Start building strategic, not for anything. No relationship can be willed to children. You can will your relationship for your children. Build relationship in your family circle. It is a will that you are preparing for your children's future. How is your relationship with your extended family now? Women, when your husband is still alive, how is your relationship with his family? If anything happens today with the relationship we have with them today, if anything happens with your husband, what will become of you? So everybody, we should not live our life for the present. Let's live our life for the future. Be remembering that there is a day I will not be able to carry my hand. I will leave these children. I will leave this husband. I will leave this wife. Live today, so that when you are no longer there, it is a win. The Lord will help us.
Thank you very so much, Olucomfort. In fact, you've done justice to this topic. Really appreciate it, and we thank you for giving us so much of your time. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's so good to have you. It's really a call to everyone out there watching this. It's a call for us to do more. We really appreciate you this morning. Thank you, and have a wonderful Tuesday.
Regards to the children and Oga.
Please have a great day.
Everybody in worry. We love everybody in worry.
One day we'll come and pay a visit in worry.
It's so good to have you.
Okay, yes. Wow. You heard that from Olucomfort. She is a marriage life coach, and you see the passion in her when she's talking. She has a call for women, everyone around. What is your relationship like with your extended family? Are you the type that get married and push everybody aside? Me, myself, and I, only me and my husband. It's time for us to sit down and rethink a lot of those things. So, Lori, you have to say.
What do I have to say? I just want to say that for those who are grieving at this point in time, there is nothing we can say that will look like, because many has promised and they said, oh, we'll be there for you, we'll see you, I'll always check up on you, but after a month you don't see anyone again. Many will even promise your children educational fund and here, but all I'll just tell you is the one who can do what no man can do, and the one who can promise and always bring it to pass, is always available. Church, but you really need to understand that life is all about the things that surround us. So believe in yourself. You heard it. Love yourself, and also build strategic relationship. If you have not started, start one now. It's never too late. I want to wish you the very best of today. And I love you. My name is Sirimain Olori Adejoke David. See you tomorrow. Have a splendid day. Bye for now.
Okay, as we end the show this morning, please, topics like this, conversations like this, don't listen alone. Share with family, share with people, so that they would also learn. It's really a call for everyone to build strategic relationship. My name is Sirimain Joy Abu. We'll see you tomorrow as we enter midweek into the week. Have a blessed Tuesday. Tomorrow we will be discussing how to deal with envious partners. That's another topic entirely. We'll have that conversation tomorrow with our guests. We'll see you tomorrow.